Hey, thanks, Rajeshri, for the quick introduction. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, thank you. So, just a minute. Let me switch over to the PPT in this slide. Okay, so before I jump with the Power BI, let me set some of the fundamentals right. Okay, so this is a webinar about the AI features in the Power BI. Okay, now before jumping into the Power BI and understanding what are the AI features into that, let's try to understand what is AI. All of what do we understand by AI? Okay, so let me move to the another slide here. Let's try to understand what do I mean by artificial intelligence or AI. I do hope many of you have already got well versed with what do I mean by artificial intelligence or the AI part. But then, just considering the larger audience, let me just give a quick introduction about artificial intelligence. So, artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence in the machines. Okay, so that
This meeting is being recorded. This meeting is being recorded.
something called as continuous learning. Okay, so continuous learning and improvement, which keeps on happening. And if we feel that there is a drastic reduction in the model evaluation considering the latest environment or situation, we try to redeploy the model. Okay, so this is how AI works at the back end. Okay, now uh, before I jump to the other parts, let me set some of the fundamentals right here by understanding what do I mean by data analytics techniques, because AI is part of the AI comprises data analytics, and within data analytics, we have data analysis. Okay, so data analytics is the broad field of using data and tools to make business decisions, and within that, we have data analysis. So, data analysis is a subset of the data analytics, which includes some specific processes. Okay, so there are mainly four types of data analytics techniques: descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, okay, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. Okay. So let me start with the first one. What do I mean by descriptive analytics? So descriptive analytics, it all tells us what has happened so far. Okay, you take the data, you do the data cleansing, you do the data pre-processing, you try to understand you try to understand what is happening by applying statistical methods like descriptive statistics, inferential statistics. Okay, and then as part of the descriptive analytics, you try to even apply the exploratory data analysis techniques by constructing some of the technical visualizations like scatter plot or IQR plots or histograms. So, in short, if I want to take an analogy, say suppose you're a person who is having headache or who is not getting proper sleep. Okay, so what you will do, you will first go and visit the doctor and you tell them what is happening. So you will say that okay, I'm not getting proper sleep after even sleeping, and when I get up early in the morning, I'm still weak. Okay, and then you say that the entire day I feel lack of energy, and when I nighttime when I try to sleep, it takes a lot of time for me to get a proper sleep. So you are trying to describe your problem. So this is what happens in the descriptive analytics. You try to understand what is happening here. Okay, next comes the diagnostic analytics. So in diagnostic analytics, we try to understand whatever has happened, why did it happen. Okay, so here we try to apply three types of analysis: qualitative analysis, quantitative analysis, and text analysis. So qualitative analysis is all that which wherein you talk to the person, wherein you talk to the area manager, try to understand why the sales are decreasing or why the sales are increasing. So it's all about interacting with the people, trying to do a sort of brainstorming session. Okay, quantitative analysis means everything with respect to the numbers. What are the numbers saying? Are we actually going down? Though the sales might be showing less, does it also represent that my revenues are going down? Okay, so that's about quantitative analysis. Then comes the text analysis. We try to understand what are the how are our customers feeling with respect to our product, services, or with respect to any of our marketing strategies. Okay, so here vast amount of text is being gathered here, either from the via the customer feedback responses or from the social media. Okay, so even text analysis comes as part of my diagnostic analytics. So if I want to take the same analogy where you have went and visited the doctor and you have told all you have described all your issues. Now what will doctor do? He will do the diagnosis. So he'll say that, okay, you are not getting proper sleep, you are feeling your energy level has gone down because you're watching too much of screen and you are not having proper diet, and plus you are not doing regular exercises and you are not following a routine sleeping time. So he will try to diagnose the problem. And after that, he tries to, coming to the third one, predictive analytics. So in predictive analytics, we will say whatever has happened, we know why that has happened. Now, if the same thing continues, what is going to happen? What will happen here? Okay, so for example, if we say that given the same situation, if we about our sales program, then it will say that year on year we will see a reduction of 5% in north region. So something which we want to predict. Okay, so during this course of time, we apply machine learning models called as linear regression or logistic regression, or we also do time series forecasting. Okay, now as part of the predictive analytics, you try to apply you need this knowledge of Python here or the machine learning models. But then let's see in Power BI also, how can I do the predictive analytics? And I'll be taking the example of time series here. Okay, now coming back to the analogy, so the doctor will say that, okay, if you continue the same stuff, he will say that, okay, you might start developing, you might go into depression, you might start losing or gaining weight, and slowly your memory power will go down drastically. Okay, and then your immunity level will go down. So the doctor will try to predict that what will happen in case if the same situation continues. Okay, now prescriptive analytics, this is the fourth analytics technique. So it will say that whatever is predictive, fine, but if I want to change that, then what should I do? So how can we make it happen? How I want my sales to improve? Okay, how I want my revenues to improve? So as part of that, what you will do, you will take the machine learning model and you will do the hyperparameter tuning, and then you will come up with an understanding that, okay, if we change our marketing strategy or if we increase our advertising budget, okay, then we might start having a positive improvement in the sales. Okay, so as part of that, we'll be using decision trees or regression analysis. Now, coming to the analogy of you visiting the doctor will say that if I want to change this, then he will prescribe you some medicines. Then, along with that, he will prescribe you some of the changes in the lifestyle, like having proper food, avoid junk foods, doing some exercises, sleeping on time, having proper 8 hours time, not exposed to the screen 1 hour before going to sleep, and then some mind calming exercise also. Okay, so these are the four analytics techniques. So descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. Okay, so let me go next. So we all have heard these terminologies: AI, machine learning, deep learning.
This meeting is being recorded.
Now, let's try to understand what does Power BI does in terms of AI. Okay, so first thing, so Microsoft wants to democratize means it wants to ensure that every other person who is using Microsoft Power BI has the access to these data science capabilities, AI capabilities, which is directly embedded in Power BI. So without the need of knowing the particular machine learning model, or without the use of Python, or without the with the intention of having low code or no code thing, we can actually get the power of AI in the Power BI application. So that's the intent behind providing the AI features in Power BI. Okay. Now, so that by making advanced analytics accessible to every business user, regardless of their technical background. Now, so what are the three pillars here? Okay, so the three pillars of AI in Power BI. So the three pillars is, one is AI visualization. Microsoft Power BI has the capability of implementing artificial intelligence by in the means of visuals, then in the means of while preparing the data, and also integrating with advanced AI services like time series forecasting or text analysis, which we will be seeing in our upcoming slides, as well as the Power BI application. Okay. Then comes some of the prerequisites here. So what are the prerequisites? You should have a latest Power BI desktop. It's good to have a licensed Power BI premium or paper user license, because some of the features may not work here. And your data should have some clean historical data. Okay, mere 6 months or a 1 year data is not going to have. If you want to have a proper predictive data, then you are supposed to have at least 5 or 6 years of the data here. Okay, then you should have clear business questions. Unless and until you don't know what business problem you are trying to solve, AI, whatever AI is going to predict, you will not be able to understand it, nor you will be able to apply it. Okay, fine. So let me go to the next slide here. Okay, so let me talk about the first feature here. So it says AI enhanced data preparation. Okay, so I'm starting with the AI features in Power BI. So first thing is, as usual, we have to do the data preparation. Let's see how AI enhances the data preparation here. So the first thing is detecting the data type here. Okay. So let me show you the data what I've been using here. Okay. So these are some of the data sets what I have been using. Okay. So my entire data set is in CSV format: sales ID, customer ID, stock ID, sale date, quantity, unit price, discount, total cost, payment method, salesperson. Okay. And you don't know what is the data type here. Okay. But then when I import this in Power BI, okay. So let me go to the transform. I've already imported all the required data sets here. Just a minute till it gets downloaded. Okay, so if you see here, I go to the same sales table. Now, if you see here, the data type, Power BI has already identified what is the actual data type here. So all my primary keys, it is coming in a free text format, the stock IDs, the store IDs. But then if you see here the date part, it has identified that the data type is date. The quantities, it has identified it as an integers, 1 to 3. But then if you see unit price, it has identified it as a numbers along with the decimal characters. Okay, so 1.2 means it supports up to 2 digits of decimal character here, 1.2. Okay, same goes with the discount percentage, the total cost, payment method, salesperson. So all these things. So the data type is being identified using AI power. Okay, so you need not have to come and select what is the actual data type here, what it is supposed to be. Okay. So this is one of the AI feature capability. So detecting the data type. So AI powered recognition of either dates, numbers, text, or even Boolean fields, yes or no, or which category does the item belongs. Okay, so those information. Next thing, fill down with intelligence. Okay, so for example, not all the data set you'll get some of the values, because some of the data set, some of the data points within the table might be blank. Either they have been intentionally left blank, or the data is not captured, or the person who was supposed to key in the data did not enter it. For example, this is the returns table here. Okay. So to talk about my table, I have my stores data, the store reviews, customers whom I have, the items what I have, the sales data, customer feedback, the category, and then the returns here. Okay. So this is my returns table here. Now, if I come over here, the return condition, if you see here, the return condition, it is blank. It is null like some of the data point, because either the customer did not enter it, or the person who collected this particular item did not was not able to enter these values. Now, it will be not good to proceed ahead to construct my visualizations or the reports by having blank data. So what can I do here? Okay, so I can use AI to fill in these values. So what AI will do here is, wherever I have blank values, right, null values, it tries to fill in the previous value, so that at least something is better than nothing. So previous value it will fill here. So for example, here it will fill the new part. In these two fields, it will update it as used. In this one, it will fill as damaged. So if I see some of the information, data profiling here, so it says that I have around 1,000 rejected records. Okay. Out of that, there are 4 empty data. Okay. So let me try to fill these 4 values. So what I will do, I will select here the column. Okay. And then there is something called as transform. Okay. And then there is an option called as fill here. So I will select this and I will say fill down. Down means whatever the information which is there on the top will be filled on the down. If you select up, that means whatever information is available at the bottom, captured from the up rows, or the values will get captured from the bottom data point. So I will select it as up. So if you see here, my blank data points have now been captured. So none of my values are now blank here. So let me check the data profiling, select it here. And then if you see here, I don't have any empty values. That means my data is up to the mark. There are no blank or null values here. Okay. So coming back to the slide, that means I have filled down with intelligence here. Okay. Next is a very interesting and a quite useful option. It's called as fuzzy matching. Okay. So what I will do here is, I will just close and apply this point. Power query, let it get loaded. By the way, I will not be talking about the basics of Power BI, because I expect you guys will be having some basic understanding. Otherwise, 1.5 hours will not be sufficient to explain the AI features if I start explaining the basic part of the Power BI. Okay, but then whatever previous screen which you saw was a Power Query. This is where I do all the transformations with respect to the data. Once the transformation is done and loaded, I'll come into the actual Power BI screen, wherein I can do the visualization here on the report view. I can see the tables under the table view. All the tables are available here, and I can I can establish the relationship or construct the schema here under the model view. Okay. Now let me come back and explain what is this data about. See, this data is about a fitness. So what do they have? They have the items. So this is their items. Okay. So the product name like treadmill, water bottles, yoga blocks, the chest straps, customers. So these are our customers. All the customer details here who have purchased the item. And then this is my sales data. Okay. All the data. So this data spreads about last 5 years. Okay. And have close to having around, I think, around 5,000, 50,000 records here. And then these are my stores information. All the information with respect to my store, the address, which city it belongs, what are its reviews, the ratings, number of employees it has, what is the store size, when it was opened, what location does it belongs, what is the manager name, those information here. And then this is some of the review of the stores review which customers have given the feedback. Okay, customers feedback here. Now, how is the, now let me come to the modeling here. So if you see here, I did not do any establishment of the relationship here. So let me close this. Power BI has this inbuilt intelligence to establish the relationship. So if you see here, the relationship between the items and then the sales. Okay. So what is my primary key here in the item? My primary key in the item is my stock ID. Okay. So if I click over here, if I click on the relationship and if I try to edit it, okay, let's say right click, properties, then I will get to know that the relationship is between stock ID, which is the primary key in the items, becomes a foreign key in my sales table. Okay. So my item table is my dimensional table, which talks about the masters, and sales table is my factual table, which talks about the transactions. Okay. So now over here, if you see the relationship, it is auto established. Okay. Likewise, the relationship between my customers and sales has happened based upon the customer ID here. So as with my stores and stores review data. Okay. Similar to my customers and their feedback data. Okay. Then the returns also. So my returns, how it is linked with the sales table using the sales ID here. So the sales ID, which is the primary key in the sales table, acts as a foreign key in my returns table, sales ID. Okay. So this is how the relationship has been already established. Okay. But then if you see here, okay, that the relationship between items and categories is not established yet. Okay. So what is there in the categories? If I go and see, let me go and see the table. Okay. So this is my items. This is my item table, and the categories are, how many categories I have? If I click on the drop down, I have basically 5 categories: accessories, cardio, strength, variables, yoga, and pilots. Okay. Now let me see the categories table. So this is my category table here: strength, cardios, yoga, pilots, variables, and accessory. Okay. Now there is no concept of primary key here. So there is no, though category ID is there. Okay. But in items, I don't have category ID here. I have only category here. Okay. So that's why it was Power BI was not able to establish the relationship here. Okay. So let me establish the relationship manually here. It's very simple, pretty easy to do. So what I will do, I will just select the category name here and drop it on the category here. Okay. I'll just drag, drop it. So category name and categories established. Okay. Now I will mark it as save. Let it get saved. Okay. Okay, it is done. I'll go to the visualization and let me construct some visualization. So what I will do here, I will try to create. So let me go and construct a visualization here. So let me take a pie chart here. I want to see my category wise sales here. Okay, I want to see my category wise sales here. So what I will do, I will first select the under the legend, I will select the category name here. I will do, I will come and select the category name here. And under the values, I'll go to the sales. I'll go to the sales and I will select the total stocks which has been sold here, the quantity here, right? So I'll come and select it under the values. So there are 5 categories here. But then all of a sudden when I so hold on. So it is showing me 5 categories here, right? Accessories, cardio, strength, variables, yoga, and pellets. Now the moment I put the quantity in the values, if you see, all of a sudden my categories are not getting visible. I only see blank and only one category is getting displayed, which is strength. Okay. What happened to the rest 4 categories? Okay. I did establish the relationship, right? But then why did not why it is not showing me the proper values here? Where things have gone wrong? Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's go and check here. Check in the data table here. So this is my item, right? Within the item, these are my categories: strength, cardio, yoga, and pilates. So if you can see here, accessories, strength, variables, yoga, and pilates. Now, if you see here, so this is variables, yoga, and pilates, accessories. But then if I go to the categories here, the names are a bit different. Okay. It says cardios, yoga, not ampersand and pilates. There is a space between where and ables. And then it's not accessories, it's accessory. Only the strength name is what it matches. Okay, that's why the pie chart was able to consider only one category strength. Rest 4 it was not able to connect because the names between the category table and to that of the items table is not matching. Okay, it's not matching. I'm not saying that the information is completely drastic or incorrect. Okay, consistency is not maintained here. Okay, there is no consistency. That's why relationship is not proper. Because of that, my reports are not getting loaded properly. So let's see how AI can solve this problem. Okay, to solve this problem, we use something called as fuzzy matching. So what it does, it improves the mergers using approximate matches for any messy data. Okay, so it uses machine learnings. Okay, the logistic regression. Okay, to find out what is the actual the percentage of what is the confidence interval or how much accuracy it has to match this, and only if it reaches certain confidence, certain percentage of accuracy, only then it matches here. Okay, so let's see how does the fuzzy matching actually works. So I'll come over here. I'll go to the home bar. Okay, then I will click on the transform data. Transform data here. Okay, so I'll go to the items here. And then what I will do, I will select. Okay, there is something called as merge queries here. Okay, so I'll click on a drop and I'll click on merge queries here. Now before I do that, let me select on which one the merge query should work. Right, so the merge query should work on the categories column. Right, yeah, I'll select these categories and I will click on merge queries. Okay, so under the merge queries, I have selected the column, the items here. So I'll select category, and here I'll select which table. So I'll select the other table, which is category.
This meeting is being recorded.
We can see. That may be her problem.
Okay, thanks for the confirmation. Okay, so I will select the column for which the merge should happen. So I will select here category name. Okay, and then I will say use original column as a prefix. So I'll click as OK. So now if you see here, all the columns have been now merged. So previously, so let me just come down. So previously variables. Now this is matching with the category called as variables is now matching with here called as variables. Okay, so machine learning model has been kicked in. Power BI has used artificial intelligence and it is able to match these columns even though it's not an exact match to match. So now what I will do next here is I will go here and say close and apply. Now I will come over here. Let it get loaded. Power BI is a very resource intensive application. So sometimes it might lag or sometimes it might take some time to get it processed. And since I'm using the AI feature, it might consume more than the expected time also. Okay, so kindly bear wherever it is processing. Now, okay, coming back, it is loaded. Now what I have to do here is, it says category name and some of the quantities. So what I will do next here is I will create another pie chart. Here, this time I will select the proper columns here. Okay, so I will select the category name, the category's name is anywhere linked. So I'll select the category name under the legend. Okay, it is coming. And then I will select the quantities which has been sold here. It's not coming. Now I will remove this category name and select the actual category name which was merged here, which is this. Okay, I'll select it and I'll paste it in the categories. Now if you see, it is giving me the appropriate values. Okay, all my sales are somewhat proportionately linked, though there is some variance. Okay. So it is now capturing the categories name as per the category table, and it is matching along with the existing categories which is captured in my sales table. Okay, so this is called as one of the interesting feature called as fuzzy matching. It improves the merges using approximate matches for the messy data using machine learning method. Okay, so this is as part of the AI enhanced data preparation. Okay, now let me go towards the next feature, next AI feature. Okay, so this is about AI powered data analysis. Okay, so let me start with what I can do as per the AI powered data analysis using, as part of the desktop application. Okay, so here okay, so let me start with the analyze vision. So we'll use the AI power, the desktop based application, and let's see how I can use AI powered data analysis. So for that, let me create some visualization. I'll come back here. Okay, I'll go to the second feature. What I will do here is, as part, let me create some visualization. Which one should I do? Okay, let me create a columnar chart. Let me select the scatter chart. Just give me a moment. I'm just checking this. So let me do one thing. Let me start with the, yes.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, may I know that is this feature is automatically enabled in Power BI, or do I have to manually enable?
You have to go and check in the settings here. So uh, it is there under the options and settings. So yeah, we can we can follow one process. So whatever your questions are there, you can note it down. Okay, at the end of the day, at the end of the session, there is a Q&A session. You can ask the questions. I'm happy to answer at that point of time. Okay, but then I will surely answer
Okay.
your question. Otherwise, I might miss the flow. Okay, so that's the only reason. Yeah. Now coming back over here, so let me create a columnar chart here. Custard columnar chart. So custard columnar chart. So what I will do in the X categories, I will select the categories. Okay. The X, I will want to select the categories, and in the Y, I want to say I want to understand the sales what has been made here. Okay. So I will select the total sales or the total cost what has been made here. Or I want to understand my return. I want to understand more about my return. So I will go here and I will want to understand about the returns here. So I've added the returns. Okay, this is value what I'm getting. That means most of the returns has happened for the items belonging to the cardio categories. Least has happened in terms of yoga and pilates. Okay. Now I want to do what? I came here to do my AI powered data analysis. That is, I want to analyze my visualization. So what I will do, I'll come over here, click on these three dots. Okay. No, okay. Just do right click, not on the three dots. Just do the right click, and you can see the third option called as analyze. Okay. You have to select this, find where the distribution is different. Okay. So now it says here are the filters that cause the distribution of the sum of the return value by categories. Okay, it is doing the process. Just hold on, wait for some time. It is trying to rank the results. It is doing all the required analysis using AI. Okay, so if you see here, it has done the analysis and it is giving me some information. It has come up with its own analysis here. Okay, so for example, if I see here, what is the return condition? Most of the items are having returned because of the damage. Okay, now for the new items where they are saying it is new but then returned, most of the items belongs to cardio here and very least belongs to yoga here. And then yeah, so top three customers who have done the returns. So Clark. Okay. So Clark is the customer who has done the most returns, followed by Gracie, Louis. So you can identify. Okay, you did not rate any query. It is trying to do the data analysis using AI. So health issues. What kind of customers who have returned here have the health issues. Most of the obese people who have bought it have returned the item. That means either they did not find the product useful or they were incapable to use it, followed by arthritis and asthma people. Okay. Those people had problems for using your products. That's why they returned it. Okay. This is as per the first name. And then what was the return reason? They purchased it, but then they changed their mind. Poor quality, wrong item. Okay. Yes, like this, there are multiple data analysis which has been done by the AI itself. Okay. So this is what I can do with respect to the Power BI desktop. Okay. But what about Power BI app services? Okay. So let me jump over to the app services here. So this is my app service. I've logged in. So my data is already loaded here. I'll go to my workspace. I'll select my workspace here. So the data is already here. So I will select this. So if you see there is a, if I come to my workspace, don't select the report. You have to come to the semantic model here. Click on the three dots and it says get quick insights. Okay. So let me click onto this and see what are the insights which gets generated in the web-based app.power BI services. Okay. So here it is doing, it is searching for the insights. Processing is happening. So let's give some time. So till it prepares, let me jump over to the slide. So what I'm doing here currently right now, I'm trying to get some quick insights using Power BI service. First thing what we did was we did it in the desktop. Here we are doing it as app service. Both gives different AI powered data analysis. So I'm covering both the things here. So let me see if the data analysis is completed. Yes, it is done. It says you have the insights for FitGen. So let me click on view insights. Okay, so here you see I have a lot of insights here. Okay, it is telling me like, based on the written conditions, which one are the majorly. Most of the returned items don't have any health conditions, health issues. They're just simply returned. Okay, and then yeah, the same thing here. So that means my health condition is not having any impact on the returned items. Okay, which city has the highest rate of return? South. Okay, northeast is the city where least amount of returns has been happened. It says south and west have noticeably more cities here with respect to the city, with respect to the city here. And then here payment discount percentage. Okay, so this is whatever the insights what you are seeing is a generic insight. It's not with respect to the returns here. In the desktop, it gave me only with respect the insights with respect to the returns because I've used the returns here, some of the return value. In the app.services, it is giving me generic information, generic analysis, generic insights. For example, discount percentage. Okay, the highest discount percentage which customer has availed have used credit card as the payment of method. That means customers are using more credit cards. So we have to see how can we tap further onto this. How we can make sure that, or how we can find out that why debit card users are less. Is it something which we can do to increase the percentage for the debit card users also, or the scope for giving a better gift card is more here because since debit credit card is having discount percentage, our customers are using less gift card. So you have to come up with some better gift card schemes here so that we can ensure that customer will start using that. We'll start using the gift card here. And there are some more scattered plots here. Lot of analysis. Okay. You need to sit down with the business user, SME, and try to understand what are these each visualization is about. It just took 2 months to construct this visualization, 2 minutes to construct this visualization. Okay. Then what else? Yeah. So the number of employees by the stores. Most of my employees belongs to medium store size. Okay. Very least number of employees belongs to small, and then some 1/3 of the employees, 37% of my employees belongs to the large store size. Okay. Another important thing. We thought that most of our employees might be belonging to the large store size, but then we were wrong. Most of my employees counts are around 50% of my employees belongs to medium sized stores. Okay. Likewise, yes. So these are some of the insights which has been generated quickly with the help of AI. Here. Let me move back to the slides. Yes, so I have covered AI-powered data analysis. Okay. Now let me go to the third one, which is predictive analytics. Okay. The sales forecasting here. Okay. So you some of the basic understanding about sales forecasting is this is based upon time series forecasting, wherein we'll forecast the future sales using built-in time series model within Power BI. Okay. So what are these? If I want to tell some of the forecasting algorithm, we try to use some three concepts called as trend, seasonal, residual error. Trend says that how long the trend has been there. Was the trend for 1 month, 2 months, 1 quarter? Seasonal means what were the various number of seasons which the sales experienced. That is, say a jump, increase in the sales to decrease in the sales. So we call the change in the trend. We call it as seasonals. It's like in a year we have 3 seasons, wherein from summer we move to the rainfall, then we move to the winter. So there are 3 seasons. Likewise, in a sales cycle, there might be multiple seasons. So we have to, machine learning algorithm will try to help us understanding how many seasons we had. And for this to construct, we should have a good amount of sales transactions. So the ideal recommendation is at least 5 years of sales data has to be there to have a very good or a appropriate time series forecasting here. Then comes something called as error. Yeah, this is what I told. The error or the residual error, trend and seasonal components drive more accurate forecasting here. So let me do one thing. Let me jump to the Power BI and try to show these features. Okay, I'm in Power BI. Go to the third feature, which is this thing, sales, the sales forecasting. So what I will do here is I will select the line chart. Okay, let me select the line chart here. Now I will select in the x-axis. I will select the year and month here because I want to see the monthly wise thing. So I will come here. I'll go to the sales. I will expand the sales date here. Under the date hierarchy, I will select month. So I have sales date and then I will select the year also here. Year and month. So I have selected year and month here. Just a second, it is taking some time to load the data. So the data is getting loaded here. It is not supposed to take this much of time. Since it's a 5 years data having 50,000 transactions, it is taking some time to process and load. Okay, it is loaded now. Okay. Next, what I will do here is I will select in the y-axis, I will select my sales. Here you go, I topped it. So it is come vice versa. So use this and then activate hierarchy. Remove the low quarter. Yeah. So this is my line chart for my sales. Okay, for my sales line chart. If you see here, in the month of February, my sales are going down. Again, it is improving in the month of March, followed by May, again going down in the month of June. Likewise, in 2020, this is how it happened. But then in 2021, it increased in the month of January, and then it went down. Okay, so each month, each year, different month, different behavior is been ongoing. So likewise, I have 5 years of data. Okay, let me see how I want to predict for my first 6 months of the next year. Okay, so what I will do here, I will go to I will select here, select the visualization, and then just a minute. It's again stuck, just a minute, guys. So I will come over here. I will select format option. Okay. Under the format option, there is something called as trend line and then forecast. If you see here, there is a last option called as forecast. Okay. Under the format option, there is forecast here. Okay, so what I will do, I will enable this forecast. So the moment I've enabled the forecast, you can see my next sales month forecast has been come here. But then I have to do some more editing. So what I will do, I'll just expand this forecasting. I have these options. Okay. What are the units here? What are my units here? So let me go and change some of this information here. So in the units, I want months to be considered as part of forecasting here. Okay. My forecasting length is for next 6 months. Okay. I want to ignore last. Okay, fine. Seasonality. So what I will change here, I will change my seasonality that I want to include 6 seasonality here. Okay. This is my confidence interval. It shows that, at what confidence interval you want to see. I mean, what are the chances of this, whatever the prediction which is giving the value has to be accurate here. There are multiple confidence interval. Most of the case we select 95% as my confidence interval. Okay. And then okay, I'll come over here and I'll click as apply. So if you see here, it has changed. Previously, it was showing a normal sales forecast. Now it is showing me by considering the seasonality, it is giving me some sales forecast here. So it is saying that in the month of January, we can expect the forecast of 12.3 or 12,30,000 sales. Okay. Upper band means the highest amount what can we expect is 13,96,000. least is 10 lakh 65,000 or 1065 or like 100 and 1065 sorry 10 lakh 65,000 as my lower bound, followed by the next month, March month. The actual forecasted value is 12 lakh 47,000 something. But then the upper value, the max value, what I can see here is 14 lakh 13,000, and the lower bound value, what I can see is 10 lakh 80,000. Okay. So likewise, in the month of October, there is a drop which is happening. So the value, what it is saying here is 12 lakh 8,000 is the forecasted value. Upper bound is 13 lakh 75,000, followed by lower bound of 10 lakh 47,000. So this is the time series based prediction method, which we have constructed here using Power BI's AI feature without the use of machine learning model. Okay. All I did is I did not do any coding here. I just selected some of the lines, and I had some of the functional understanding about the time series, and then I constructed it. I can do some addition here for the forecasted line. If I just expand it, I can change the color here. Okay. I can make some color changes here. Instead of black, I can give some other color, say a dark blue color. And then the transparency, I can just increase it. Okay. And then width, I can increase it, width of the line, just to showcase that this is the forecasted value. Instead of line, I can make it as dashed. Okay. The growth. Yes. So these are some of the AI, the third feature, which is my predictive analytics for the sales forecasting. Okay. What is next? Next is again a very interesting one: root cause analysis. Sometimes we understand what is happening, but we fail to understand why it is happening, why something is going down, or why something is increasing. Okay. Because all those things boil down to key influences. We don't know what is actually making the customers to return the items, or we don't know actually for a particular item why it is increasing only in particular store, or why it is decreasing only at certain month. Okay. So we try, Power BI gives us this feature also to do some root cause analysis. Okay. This is a very useful feature. Many of the businesses keeps on taking the benefit of this AI feature here. So what it says is we discover what drives the outcome using some automated influence ranking. Like it will help us to segmentize the data. It will help me to calculate the correlation, rank the influence factors, and then the relationship also. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me go to the part. So let me create a new visualization here. So what visualization should I select this time? So I will do one thing. I will select a bar. This time also I'll go for a simple one. Simple column chart. So I'll select the column chart here. This is my column chart. So what I will do here is I want to analyze. So I'll select this. Okay, no. So column chart, I don't have this option. So what I will do, I want to do the root cause analysis, right? So there is something called as key influencers here. I want to understand those key influencers, right? So I will select this visualization of the column chart. So I'm selecting the key influencer here. Okay, so let me expand it. Now there are three options here. What I want to analyze, what the analysis should be based upon. Okay, what I want to analyze, what the analysis should be based upon. Only these two things are important. Most of the times, what do we want to analyze? We want to analyze my sales, right? Total sales. Okay. So total sales, I've just created a measure here. Okay. So what is my total sales? Sum of my total cost. Okay. The total of all the values in the total cost column is my sum of the sales here. So this is the measure what I've created. So I'll just simply select this visualization. I'll drag and drop the total sales here. Okay. Now it says no fields in explain by. That's why it is not loading anything. So let me select multiple values here to explain by. Okay, first thing is I want to understand by the customer type here. Okay, so customers, let me go over here. Okay, and see customer type. Explain me by customer types. It's still running the analysis. I want to add some more information here. I let my, one is from the customer and there is from the store side. Okay, I'll come to the store and I want to understand from the store size also. So I'll select the store size. I can select multiple values here. Okay. Then I from the item side, I want to understand with respect to the categories. So I'll come over here, item. Okay, what else? What else I want to do? From my, I'll do one thing. Is there a region in my sales? Sales, there is no region. Let me go for my stores. Yeah, stores, I have a region here. I'm selecting region. Then what else? Okay, last but not least, I want to understand using monthly. Okay, because everything is time bounded, right? So I have to include the time factor here. Did not got selected, so let me then drag and drop. Yeah. Yes. So it is running the analysis. Let's wait for some time. All these AI analysis usually take some time to process because a lot of machine learning algorithms are getting applied at the back end. Okay. So if you see here, it is still blinking. That means my analysis is still running. We have to wait. Okay. Okay, so here you see within just 2 minutes, I got a lot of key influencers here, a lot of business uh, enabling, or we business can take the advantage of these data backed decisions. We call it as DBD, data backed decisions. Okay, so let's see what do I have here. So what I'm under key influencers here. So it says what is influencing my total sales to increase. Okay, it is trying to understand what are my key influencers, which is increasing my sales here. So let's start talk about the cardio. It says that cardio is the category of the of the items which is increasing my sales. My average sales is around 34,352 units, but then this is way above than my average. So this is having a very good role. Okay, you have to see what can I do to further sustain it, or you can try to understand what is that we are doing at the cardio, which we can apply for the accessories also, for the yoga pellets also. Is it the quality or is it the packing? Okay, or is it the pricing here? Okay, then comes the region here. Okay. Okay, it says that South region is doing pretty well in the sales. So South is the region which is increasing my sales. So I can go and study the South region, all the stores at the South region, try to understand are there any are there any distinct characteristics which the regions in the South are following? Okay. It can be with respect to the location, or it can be with respect to the sales team. Okay, or it can be with respect to the demographic conditions also. Okay. Likewise, now what I will do, I want to understand what influences total sales to decrease. Okay, so let me select decrease here. It is doing the analysis. Let's wait for some time. Okay, so these are all the key influencers which are leading, which are the cause for my lower sales. So if I come over here, say one of them, customer type. Okay. So I have how many customer types? I think I have 3 customer types here. Let it get loaded. So if you see here, though the customers who belong to my gold category, we think that they are doing good purchases, but then if I see my data, the gold customers are actually doing purchasing less than my average sales. Okay. So I have to find out what is stopping my gold customers. They have paid here to become a premium member, but then they are not doing much sales with us. We have to try to identify that, are they not happy with our service, or, they are not happy with our product quality. We have to find out what is that, we have to contact them. We have to try to understand. We have to give them a survey here, try to understand what is that they are looking, or what is that they have disappointed with our stores here. Next comes the store size. Let's select the store size also here. Okay. So if you see here, my large stores are not helping to improve my sales. The medium sized stores are the one which are giving me better sales. That means somewhere we have to sit with the business and we have to take the decision. Do we actually need these large stores? Or, we can convert 50% of our large stores into medium stores so that our operational expenses reduces and then our sales also increases. Okay. So yeah, so this is some of the key influences which we have found. Now, if I click on top segments, let me click here. So it has created, Power BI using AI has created its own segments here. Okay. Saying that I can see here what is that which is causing my loss. Okay, if I select this thing, so it will show me with respect to categories. Okay. So cardio is not doing good any help. Strength is also not helping me here. Okay. Store size should not be medium. Store size should not be low. So region wise, I'll come and select the another category here. So segment 5 talks about my overall thing. So, it says that my total sales is 13.5. What is my segment 5? If I close this, if I hover my cursor here, it says 13.5 is my sales. Okay. And 13 lakh 45,000 worth of sales has come out from the category strength, and the customer type is gold. One customization, one segment, customer segment which it has created. Okay. Let's see the third highest sales which has been making. What type of customers are they? They are not cardio users. They are not strength users. They don't buy yoga and pellets. They are not Northeast, belongs to the region of Northeast also. But then these are the customers who purchase at the large stores. Okay. Large stores. This can be one more customization. We can say that, my large stores customers. Now I'll go to the least one. So the least number of sales, what has been making, those customers belongs to yoga and pellets category segments. So we spend a lot of time to segment our customers, but then here with the help of 3 or 4 minutes, we are able to segmentize our customers. Okay. Now coming back to the PPT. So fourth one, key influence, root cause analysis. So we were able to identify the root cause analysis here, why something is going down, or what is something which is helping to improve my sales here. Okay. Let me go to the last one, which is my, the text analysis from the customer feedback here. Okay. Often, we keep on seeing other feedback from the customers via the mail or the support service centers or via social media or even in our the Google Maps reviews. Okay. But then it's impossible to go through each and every review, try to understand what they are saying here. It's very difficult to understand what is their sentiment. Okay. I would have loved to show the sentiment, but in the latest version of Power BI, they've disabled the sentiment part. But however, they have still kept the key phrase extraction, okay, feature. So I will be showing you this part, key phrase extraction. Okay. So for that, let me go over here, come and go for the fifth feature. Under the fifth feature, there is a visualization called as text. Okay. So where is that? So I have to come. Is it available here? Okay. Yes, it is here. Word cloud. Okay. So usually you will not see it. to see it, you have to click on get more visuals. Okay, click on get more visuals here. It will take to the store, visualization store. Just a minute, it gets loaded here. It is loading the data. 1 second. So if I type word here, word cloud comes here, but then since I've already enabled, it is not getting displayed here. So these are all the additional visualization which you can select here. Some of them are free, some of them have to be paid on paid basis. Okay. So what I will do, I'll close it here. I will get this one. So it is available here, word cloud. So I'll select this visualization. We'll expand it. Okay. Then it is asking me which categories I have to select. Okay, where is my customer feedback or the store feedback? It is available in a table called as store reviews. Okay, then I will select my review text which customer has given to me. We'll come over here. So if you see here, these are my reviews. It has what it is showing me. It is showing me the key phrase extractions, pull out the recurring topics or themes. Okay, so these are the recurring points which has been discussed in my feedback. Okay, parking and this. But then if you see here, there's a problem. It is showing me some of the generic words like the, was, they, will. Okay, so all these things are stop words. As per the NLP language, okay, natural language processing, these are stop words. These don't help us to take any sort of decisions here. Like and has been used 3035 times. My, okay, it doesn't help us to come to any conclusive evidence. So what we will do here is I will come to the format option. Okay, and then there is something called as stop word. So if you see here, I have enabled it. Okay, let me expand it, and then I will say default stop words. I'll click it here. Then if you see, let it get loaded. Yeah. So if you see here, those stop words have now gone. You don't see any the and my. So those informations are gone now. Okay. If I want to remove some of the other stop words, I can do that also. I can type here. Okay. But then I don't see anything, any other thing here, stop words. So, I would like to keep it clear here. Okay. So these are some of the ways I can rotate my text also. Okay. If I want to do. And this is with respect to the performance. If I want to do some of the performance, what it should be the quality. So it is taking some 40%. I can make it as 80% also. Okay. To pre-estimate some of the words here. Okay. But then as of now, we'll leave it as it is. So if you see here, most of our customers are talking about parking. Okay, that means either they are happy with our parking or they're not happy. So how do I know whether they're happy or not happy with the parking? Using sentiment analyzer. But then sentiment scoring is now disabled in Power BI. I have to find out how to enable it. Okay, this is the latest version, it is not there. Then they are happy with the staff. They are happy with the checkout process. Okay, then they are happy with the payments. Payments is something which has been talked about almost 956 times. Okay, then there is something about environment. Okay, people are talking about something called as fitness. Okay, they are talking about friendly behavior of the salespersons. Okay, and then they are talking about something like welcoming, how our salespeople are doing when they are trying to entertain the customers here. So these are all the various feedback which you took it from your stores and using the NLP, natural language processing, you have extracted these texts here, okay, without using any of the machine learning model here, okay. So this is about text analysis from the customer feedback here. Now let me go to the next one. Yeah, the last one, very useful. Uh, and then the convenient one, which is Q&A visual, natural language queries. So this also uses my NLP technique, which is my natural language processing techniques. Okay. So let me come over here. Let me go to the feature. Okay. And there is something called as Q&A visuals. So I have to add that. Second, let it get loaded. Okay. So all these things I have selected, no key influencers is available here also. Okay. Welcome to modeling. We in my somewhere here I have the Q&A. If it is not there, I have to enable it. So just a moment, let me see if it is available or not. If not, I'll go to the file. Okay, I'll go to the options and settings. I'll go to the options here. Let me see if Q&A is enabled. Yeah. So I'll go to some of the preview features. Let me see if Q&A is enabled here. I have Q&A improve, but then why it is not coming? Second. Where is the option Q&A? Yes. Okay. I got to know in the latest version Q&A has been disabled. Okay. But then let me see. Can I do it using the other method? Will give us. They have a Q&A setup. Let me select this. Feature they have removed, but then they have got the Q&A setup here. Yeah. So here I have the Q&A setup. Okay. So synonyms, I can enter the synonyms here. So this is the synonyms section. So for example, I'll go to the synonyms. I want to enter synonyms, some of the additional name. For example, if I go to the sales, okay, my sales team. So if you see here from the sales team, they are telling it as total cost. But in short, this is nothing but my total sales amount or total revenue, right? So I would like to add something here called as total revenue. So I'll say this is my not cost from my reporting perspective. This is my revenue here. Okay. So this is my revenue. So the revenue has been added as part of my synonyms. Okay. Then what else? I will go to the stores. I will go to my stores. So usually what we call it as stores, right? No stores. I'll go to the sales regions, right? Sales item, the date, month, quarter, day, sales ID, salesperson, stock ID, store ID, right? Go to the stores, and then I will mention them as instead of city. I often tell, my sales people often talk this as territory. Okay, so sales territory. So I will add it as my synonyms here. So now I have to teach the Q and enter a question. So I'll say that, okay, top, I'm now teaching top performing sales territory. Then I'll submit. So using Q and A, it is generating the results here. It will not try to fetch me the top performing, top sales performed city. No, I'm type territory because my sales team often refer to it as territory. They don't like to call it a city. So it is trying to view the results. Let's hold on. This new Q&A setup feature, they're telling this is under preview. So usually the ones which are in the preview, okay, they take more time. So okay, it says that, okay, it's saying that the top city is in Omaha. Okay, 57.90% of the sales has happened in this city. Cities that have what? What is that I'm trying to look? Describe the subset of the cities. Cities that have highest sales, highest revenue. Okay, and then I can save this question. Next time, whenever I can mark it as save this question. Next is this giving error. Won't understand this definition. Cities that have sales, total sales. Yeah, so this is about the Q&A section, which is again based upon my natural language processing, with which it will try to help me give me some information with respect to the sales part, with respect to my entire data set. You can type here and it will go through your entire data set and get you the information. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So this is about natural language queries. Objective is based upon the pure English. It should be able to get me the output. Okay. We can convert these Q&A questions also into the reports here. Okay. And we can pin it also into my dashboards for my ongoing use. Okay. So to give a quick summarize, I just explained what do I understand by AI. Okay. What are the various data analytics techniques? And then I try to understand what is AI features with respect to the data preparation, and then data analyzing the reports, how to cleanse the data, and then how to do the prediction, how to identify the key influencers uh, by using the prediction method for the sales text analysis, for the review part, data preparations and analysis part also. Okay, and some of the most of the features I showed it in desktop. One of the feature I showed it in my Power BI app service also. Okay. Yes, I'm done with my presentation. I'm open for the questions and discussions here. Rupashri, are you there? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, you are. I have a question.
Yeah.
Like you did the this thing, but how to make sure or guarantee that whatever data it is, whatever analyze and whatever it is analyzing, it is doing correct and there are no errors and it is the right thing that it is showing.
Yes, so you can always go and have a cross check of this of your data either in Excel. Okay, so if it says that the highest sales for a particular category is this, you can go and cross check it once. So usually I don't suggest whatever the AI which it gives, don't just accept it. Have a cross validation also as part of that. Say suppose if your data set is lying in your database, you can always validate the numbers by using SQL, or if it is there in the Excel, you can apply the filters and cross check whether the value is actually matching or not. Okay, and in the most of the cases it does matches. Very rarely there can be an error. Again, that can be because of the data set issues. Either the relationship is not proper, or the summarization or the summation what has been done is improper, or sometimes there can be issue in the DAX queries also. As far as I have done it, I validate it at the backend as part of the either Excel or in the SQL. And then once I cross check about 2 or 3 scenarios, then I'll proceed ahead and try to inculcate these AI enabled features in Power BI. Shweta.
Thank you. This was a very informative presentation, but it was very like high level, and it is unless you go and you experiment yourself, it's difficult to understand, right?
Yes, yes. Shweta. So first of all, it takes good amount of time to understand the data concepts and then the Power BI. Okay, and then
Yeah.
to understand the AI features. But then since I had got only 90 minutes, I tried to do as much as justification as possible. That's why I told initially the knowledge of Power BI is basic here. But then otherwise, in spite of that also, if you find this interesting, that means yes, thanks for that.
Yes, it was like really interesting.
Any more question? Anyone?
Yes. So I asked it earlier because is this automatic enable, or do I have to enable it
Yeah,
manually?
coming to your question, by default, some of the features will not be enabled. So you have to go to these options. Okay, files, options, and settings. In the options, you have to enable some of these features here. Okay. So, for example, if I come over here to these settings, let it get loaded. Like these preview features. So Q&A, I have to enable it. And then for the slicers, I have to enable it. My improving Q&A. So those things, majority of them are auto-enabled, but then few of the things like Q&A, the visual maps need to be enabled here. But then for this presentation, I did not enabled anything apart from Q&A. I did not consciously enabled anything. Most of the things were auto-enabled here. Okay.
Okay.
Anyone is having any more question?
Actually, this is not question, but it's a request. Can I get this recorded version?
Yes, you will get.
Okay, where I can get through this your website?
No, we will share in our group.
Okay.
What is the difference between the root cause analysis part? Somebody else is speaking. The Q&A part and the root cause analysis, it was like more or less the same thing, right?
No, it's not same thing, because in Q&A part, you'll ask some open questions. You want to understand something and you type down open questions. In root cause analysis, it itself will try to understand. Say, for example, if I come over here.
Yeah, Q&A, actually, this is the text analysis. But root cause is not text analysis. Is it?
Yes, Q&A is actually based upon will give you the finding, identify. Saying that, trying to understand that, to analyze my sales, what is the impact of the region wise? What is the impact on the store size? What about the customer type? you can add various parameters here, and itself will give you the information. You are not manually sitting and typing any questions here. Okay. However, you can type saying that, what is the impact of total sales considering the region. Okay. But then it may not give you the, any impactful result. Okay. If you want to have any, clean understanding report, I suggest to use the key influencers only, wherein it will tell you all the, proper information here, what it is there, what caused, along with the averaging information here. Usually Q&A is used for, plain simple questions with which you can turn it into visualization. Okay. On the other hand, the root cause is like a feature altogether. You just select the values, and then Power BI gives you the output, clear cut output backed by data here.
So we are starting our next Power BI live online batch from 7 to 9 p.m. IST. So if you people are looking to gain hands-on expertise and build strong practical knowledge in Power BI, this batch is a great opportunity for you. I've shared the page link in the chat box, and you can connect with me uh, if to get enrolled. Any more question regarding that? I don't think so. So thank you once again, Vinayak, and thank you everyone for being a part of our webinar today. We truly value your commitment to professional growth, and we look forward to having you join us in our upcoming Power BI Live Online batch starting from this 7th March, as I have already informed. So, if you have any question or need any further details, please feel free to reach out. And now, I
Thank
think
you.
Yeah, Rajri. Thanks a lot.
thank you so much, everyone, and good
It
night.
was my pleasure to give the session. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest for tonight.
Thank you all.
Thank you.